So I'm here this morning to share a nice gentle yoga flow with you. So just some nice simple yoga this morning, just to kind of get you all nice and stretched and relaxed for your day ahead. So you don't need anything at all to do this flow. If you've got a mat, then great, go and grab it. If you've got it, roll it out. A pillow might be nice, or a cushion if you have any tightness or tension in your hips. But again, it's not necessary. This flow is suitable for all levels, so if you've never done yoga before, that's absolutely fine. You don't need to be bendy, you don't need to be flexible, you just need to have a body, which I'm assuming you've all got, and then we will get going. So we're going to be doing a lot of work down on the floor today, so if you do want a cushion or a pillow, as I say, grab it now. I'll just give you a few moments, and then we're going to start today's practice just by lying down on our backs. So we're going to start and end the practice in exactly the same way, just by getting connected with the breath and the breathing, and just trying to relax and shut everything out just for the next 30 minutes or so. So we'll come down onto our backs into our Shavasana. So this is our resting pose in yoga. So we're just going to take the legs straight out ahead, the hands by the sides with the palms facing upwards. We're just going to relax the body, so closing off the eyes here, and we're just going to take the first few minutes just connecting with the breath and the body. So just begin by taking a full body scan, so starting at the toes all the way up the body, just checking in with the body, see how it's feeling this morning. Maybe there's some areas of tightness and tension. Just acknowledging those and then just moving on to the next part. And while you're here, just noticing if the jaw's tight, maybe the teeth are clenched. If it is, then just softening. Notice if there's any tension in the neck and the shoulders. Just trying to find some stillness here in this pose. And then I just want you to take the attention to the breath. So just breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth, just taking a natural breath. So not forcing and not pushing, just inhaling and exhaling. So really concentrate on each breath. Noticing at this point if any thoughts pop into the head. So maybe your mind's already racing to what's going to happen after this class, what's going to happen the rest of the day, or maybe you're still holding on to something from yesterday. Just trying to let that go and move on. If you do notice the mind wandering at all throughout the class, then just bringing the attention back to this breath, helping you stay in the present moment. There's absolutely nothing you can do right now to affect later in today or yesterday. All you can do is concentrate on the here and the now. So just taking a few more breaths here. Feeling the body really relaxed and heavy. And gently just start to bring some movement into the fingers and toes. So really nice gentle movements. Nothing forced, nothing fast. And then just taking the arms up overhead, taking a full body stretch. So imagine the body waking up on a new day. Stretching the hands up overhead, stretching the feet down. And then just pick the knees up, bring them into the chest. Give the knees a hug, just gently rocking from side to side. Maybe taking the head and neck from side to side too. So really pressing the whole of the spine down into the floor. So the lower back's pressed down, just giving that spine a massage. And taking both feet down to the floor, about hip width apart. And to pick up the left leg to start with, crossing the left ankle over the right knee. And then just take the left hand to the inside of the left knee, gently pressing it away. So we're starting to open out the left hip. Right foot's nice and flat on the floor, nice and firm. So you can stay here if that's enough, or if you just want to take it a little bit deeper, you can pick the right foot up, catch the hands around the back of the right knee, and just gently start to guide the right knee and the left foot in towards the chest. If it feels good, you can straighten out that right leg and maybe put some movement in the right ankle. Again, just working to your body, whatever feels good for your body. You might feel some clicks and some pops. That's absolutely fine, that's absolutely normal. Just taking one more breath here. And then releasing. So taking the left foot down this time, picking up the right foot, crossing it over the left knee. Again, taking that right hand, pressing it into the right knee, gently guiding it away, so feeling that stretch into the right hip. This pose, this recline pigeon can feel really nice if you spent a lot of time sitting down, maybe on a sofa, maybe at a desk. It's a really nice way just to gently open out the hips. Again, staying here if that's enough, or picking that foot up, catching hold of the back of the knee, gently guiding it in towards the chest, maybe taking that leg extension if that feels good. Just knowing as well that it might feel completely different on this side. And moving again, any clicks and pops, my ankles clicking away. And then release. Giving that hug again. And then just gently starting to move backwards and forwards on the spine. So rolling the whole length of the spine and just seeing if you can come up into a seating position. And then coming into a comfortable seated position. So either crossing the legs if that's comfortable, maybe taking one leg in front of the other, or if you do have any issues or problems with the knees, it's sometimes nice just to take the knees round to one side just to rest in. This is the point where if you are more comfortable sitting on a cushion, then maybe taking a cushion underneath the seat just to elevate the hips just a little bit more. It can sometimes feel nice if the hips are really tight and are really tense. So just taking a moment here just to settle into the pose. So sitting up nice and tall, so nice straight back, relaxing the shoulders. So try not to bunch the shoulders up by the ears. Think about sending them down the back. And we're just going to press the hands together at the centre of the heart. As we take an inhale, we're going to float the hands up to the ceiling. As we exhale, take them down to the sides, palms facing down. Inhale, float the hands back up. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Doing that again, so inhale. Exhale, floating them down. Inhale, hands up. Take the gaze up if you can. Exhale, hands down to heart. We'll take this one more time, so inhale up. Exhale, float the hands down. Inhale, back up. Exhale, hands to heart. So now we're just going to take the hands onto the knees. We're going to take some circles with the upper body. So just leaning forwards and then taking circles round to one side. So really starting to get into the lower back. As you lean forwards, maybe dipping the shoulders. As you lean back, really starting to draw that navel into the spine. So just taking those circles as deep or as shallow as you want. If it's good to stay here, stay here. Maybe if you just want to make a little bit more movement, then make those circles a bit bigger, taking it back the other way. Again, just noticing if it feels different on this side. Maybe it's good just to stay there for a while, or at the side if you're getting a nice side stretch. Again, whatever works for your body. And then coming back to center. We're just going to take a few rounds of our seated cat and cow here. So keeping the hands on the knees. As we inhale, we're going to arch into the lower back, lift the chest, lift the chin. As you exhale, round the shoulders, really draw the navel into the spine, tuck the chin in and feel that nice opening across the back of the shoulders. Inhale, arch the back, lift the chest. Exhale, round everything off. Really tuck that chin down into the chest, lean back onto the hips very slightly. Inhale. Exhale, round. This feels really good on the lower back and the shoulders. One more, inhale. Exhale, rounding up. And then coming back to neutral. Taking the hands straight up overhead. As we exhale, taking the left hand down to the back, taking the right hand to the outside of the left knee, taking a gentle twist over that left shoulder. So as you inhale, really think about lengthening the body, so lengthening the spine, lengthening the crown of the head. And then as you exhale, just twisting a little bit deeper through the torso. So trying to keep the hips nice and square and just feeling that gentle twist throughout the body. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. As we inhale, come back to center, float the hands up. And as you exhale, twisting around to the other side. So trying to keep that back hand nice and close to the body. Again, sitting up nice and tall, lengthen through the spine. Inhale, lengthen. As you exhale, see if you can take the gaze over that shoulder. So taking a few breaths here, inhale. Exhale, fold. Twisting. One more time, inhale. Exhale, coming back to center, flip the hands up. Exhale, hands down to the heart. Okay, and gently making your way over onto all fours. So we're coming into a tabletop position here. So we want to take the hands about shoulder width apart, spreading the fingers nice and wide. So you really want to ground the hands down into the floor. The shoulders, elbows and wrists are in one nice long line. Hips are stacked over the knees, with the knees about hip width apart, pressing the tops of the feet down into the mat. On a nice neutral spine, so trying not to arch that lower back, engage the core, nice neutral spine, and then just gazing down between the hands, feeling the length in the spine. We're going to try and keep the hips nice and still here. Take the weight into the left hand. As you inhale, we're going to float the right hand up and open the chest out. Really reaching the right hand up towards the ceiling. Feeling a stretch in the right shoulder. Take a deep breath in here. As you exhale, you're going to fold the right arm under the left hand, taking it down onto the right shoulder and to the right cheek. Just feeling that nice twist in the lower back. Keep breathing here. Taking the attention back to that breath if the mind's starting to wander. Take one more inhale. Exhale. Press into the left hand, coming back to center, just resetting here. This time we take the weight into the right hand. As we inhale, float the left hand up. So trying to find that nice long line between the left hand and the right hand. So really opening out the chest. Inhale and exhale. This time we're threading the left hand under. Drop down onto the left cheek, the left shoulder. Try and keep those hips nice and square and feel that nice stretch, that twist in the upper back. Twisting into the torso. Inhale. Exhale, release, coming back to center. So just finding that tabletop position again, maybe resetting just a little bit. This time, we're going to take the right leg back. So just taking the right leg just to hip height, so trying not to come too high. So just that right leg to hip height, engaging the core here. If that's enough for you, then staying here. If you want to take it a little bit further, then try reaching the left hand forwards. So we're really starting to warm up and engage the core here. So reach the left hand forwards, reach the right leg back, really stretching and lengthening through both sides of the body. If you wobble, that's absolutely fine. If you need to reset, that's absolutely fine. Just taking one more breath. And release. Reset again here. We're going to do the same on the opposite side. So left leg goes back this time again, just to hip height. Stay here if that's enough for you. I'll take the right hand forwards to join. So really reaching forwards with the right hand, reaching back with the left hand, feeling that stretch down both sides of the body. Keep breathing here. Don't hold the breath if it becomes too challenging. Breathe into it. One more inhale. Exhale. Coming back to center. Just taking it back into child's pose just for a moment. Taking the big toes to touch. Taking a slight gap in between the knees and just bringing the hands forwards and just resting here for a moment. Taking the forehead down to the mat and just coming back to that breath. So that breath that we started the practice with, that nice even breath, just coming back and slowing down that breath just a little bit. Take 2 more breaths here in our child's pose. And then we're going to come back forwards into our tabletop position. So hands shoulder width apart. The feet, the knees are about hip width apart. This time we're going to tuck the toes underneath. Send the seat back towards the heels and start to straighten, coming into our downward facing dog. So we want to send the hips nice and high, nice length in the spine, and just pedal the feet here. So bending one leg and then the other, just moving into the hips. Just whatever feels good in your body. Maybe moving the hips from side to side, lengthening into the side body if that feels good. If this is too much, or if you just want to rest, then you can always come back down into child's pose at any time. And then just finding some stillness in this pose. If the heels don't touch the floor, that's fine. If the knees need to stay bent, then that's fine too. Take the gaze between the ankles or the knees. If the hamstrings are slightly more open, the shoulders are more open, then maybe taking those heels down towards the floor. Just finding some stillness here in this pose. We're just taking 2 breaths here. Inhale 1. Exhale. Inhale 2. Exhale. Come back down onto the knees and tip the toes. Then we're going to make our way down onto our tummy. So coming down, straight down onto the mat. So the legs are straight out behind, tops of the feet pressing into the floor. You're going to bring the hands just underneath the shoulders, coming in to our baby cobra just to start. So really think about coming into the lower back, so the glutes are engaged. Think about relaxing the shoulders here. So as we inhale, we're just going to lift the chest and the shoulders very slightly. Again, try not to bunch the shoulders up by the ears, but try to relax the shoulders back. Exhale, release. Take another one here, inhaling. And exhale, release. From here we're going to pick the right leg up. Maybe reach around and see if we can catch hold of the foot. And just start to guide it in towards the body. If we only get to this position and we can't find that foot, that's absolutely fine. If you want to take it a bit further, then fold it right in towards the body. Just stretching out through the quad. Maybe lifting the knee a little bit to get that extra stretch. Again, it's completely up to you how far you want to take it. And then release the right leg. Same on the left foot. Again, you might notice that it might be slightly easier or different on one side than the other. And just breathing here. Releasing. Just taking it a little bit further into a back bend now, if the back and the neck allows. So coming up onto the forearms. Trying to take the shoulders and the elbows in one line. The hands are straight out ahead. Imagine they're in a number 11 shape. Fingers are spread nice and wide. We're just going to lift the chest, relax the shoulders. Again, try not to bring the weight forwards here, but try to peel the shoulders away from the ears, lengthening through the neck. If that's too much on the neck and the lower back, then just come out of the pose. If this is comfortable and you want to take it even further, then you can look at straightening into the arms. If you get any crunches in the lower back or there's any pain in the lower back, then just come back to a level that feels good for you. Again, don't force and don't push anything at all. Just working with what feels right for your body today and where you are right now. So just taking 2 more breaths here. Noticing if any tensions crept back into the jaw. If it has, just releasing, just relaxing. One more inhale. Exhale, release. Just taking the arms down by the sides and just rocking the hips from side to side, just releasing that lower back. And then pressing back into our child's pose. Again, bringing the big toes to touch, taking that gap between the knees, sinking back. This time, taking the hands down by the sides, taking the hands by the heels, just rounding the shoulders, really relaxing into that lower back. Just taking a couple of breaths here, just to slow everything down. And then coming up. Crossing over at the ankles and just making your way onto your back. So coming down onto your back with the knees bent. Soles of the feet pressing down into the floor. If you can, brushing the backs of the ankles with the fingertips to know you've got the right position. So taking the feet about hip width apart. We're going to come into our half bridge pose. So keeping the hands by the side. You're going to press into the feet. On an inhale, you're going to tuck the pelvis up towards the face, towards the chest, and slowly start to peel the spine away from the floor. So start to engage the glutes, feeling the chest rise up towards the chin. Inhale. As you exhale, slowly start to lower back down. So don't rush this. Keep looking up towards the ceiling, so keeping that head and that neck in a nice and neutral position. Taking another round here, so inhale, tuck the pelvis, slowly start to peel the spine away from the floor. Again, don't rush, don't push. Staying here if this is enough, or maybe folding the shoulders underneath, clasping the hands, and just sending the hands down towards the heels, just taking a little bit more of an arch here, or maybe taking the hands underneath the hips and just supporting slightly. Wherever you are, really engage the glutes, keep breathing. Exhale, release the shoulders if they're tucked and slowly lowering down. Just heel toeing the feet just out, just wider than the hips, letting the knees knock in, and just windscreen wiping the legs from side to side, releasing that lower back. And just breathing here. Coming up into seated position, taking a nice forward fold just to counter that. So start with the knees bent, either taking the first 2 fingers and the thumb and taking a bind onto the big toes, or taking the hands to the outer edge of the feet. Keeping the chest in contact with the thighs, we're just going to walk the feet out until you find that point where you lose the contact with the chest and the thighs. If that contact point's here, then just staying here in the forward fold. If you can carry on walking a little bit further forwards and you don't lose that contact, then just take it to wherever you need to. Keep looking up towards the toes, so really lengthening through the spine, and then just stretching into the hamstrings, taking a few breaths here. Inhale. inhale. Exhale, release, coming back up to seated. Coming down onto your back, just one more time. Picking those knees up into the chest, giving them a hug, rocking from side to side here. So really pressing that spine down into the mat again. And then from here, just releasing the knees and letting them fall over to the right hand side. Stacking the left knee on top of the right, maybe shuffling the hips backwards slightly just to get that nice line, and then taking the gaze over towards the left. If you've got room, extending the arms out to the side. If you're struggling for a bit of space, then bringing them up into a T shape or a cactus shape. And just breathing, feeling that nice twist in the lower back. Just releasing any last bits of tension and tightness. And then picking the knees up, taking them over towards the left. This time taking the gaze to the right. Again, maybe shuffling back, trying to stack that right knee this time on top of the left. Maybe closing off the eyes here if that feels good. Just breathing again into the softness, into your lower back. And then coming back to centre one more time. Hugging the knees into the chest, bringing the nose up into the knees, giving yourself a big hug. So really squeezing everything in, hugging it all in. And then releasing and taking that full body stretch again. So hands up overhead, feet down, really stretching everything out. Any last movements here in the body, and then we're just going to make our way back down into our Shavasana. So how we started the practice, we're going to end and close the practice as well. So just taking those feet about hip width apart, just relaxing them, letting the feet just flop out. Hands by the sides, the palms facing up, and then closing the eyes up here. So our Shavasana is the time in a yoga practice where the body downloads all the physical movements that we do. This is where the body gets to reap the benefits. This is the point in a yoga practice where there's nothing left to do but just relax and just be. So feeling the body starting to get really heavy, just sinking down into the earth. Trying to relax and trying to find some stillness here. Remembering there's nothing you can do here apart from relax. So just surrendering to that feeling and just letting go for a few moments. Just gently start to bring some movement back into the fingers and toes. And when you're ready, taking the hands above the head and taking that full body stretch again. Bring the knees up into the chest and just roll yourself over onto your right hand side. Just take a moment here. Just for yourself, just before you go on with your busy day. Take whatever you need here, and when you're ready, just pressing up into a comfortable seated position. So again, maybe that cross-leg position, maybe that legs to the side, whatever you need. Just taking whatever time you need here, just to thank yourself for giving yourself that time and that space. Thank you so much for coming today. Thank you so much for letting me guide you through that practice. Hope to see you again really soon. Namaste. Thank you so much.